Okay guys, so I forgot that there's two other examples I want you to do. So what I'd like you to do is turn your notes packet to the back, and there's an empty page on the back, and we're going to go through these two examples, and then this will help you to be able to do the practice that you're going to get in groups, or you're going to get with partners in a minute, and you're going to work on the practice stuff. So I want to make sure you can do that. Okay, so the first example is right here. I'm just going to put example there, and I want you to solve for x in this picture. So let me show you the picture. Hold on, let me grab my 6-in-1. Okay, so it's going to look like this, where I have a line, and then I have another angle in here. So if you guys could draw that on your paper. And this angle over here on the right is going to be 3x, and then this one on the left is 2x plus 80. So 2x plus 80 and 3x. Now we want to solve for x, so we need to set up an equation. Make sure you can all see that. We need to set up an equation to solve for x. So first question is, what type of angles are these? Well, because they are adjacent, they're sharing a side, and they form a line, these are a linear pair. And what do we know about linear pairs? Well, we know that they equal how many degrees when we add them together? They have to equal 180 degrees. And does that make sense? Because if we look at this, this is an entire straight line, and in a straight line we have 180 degrees. So that should make sense. So anytime we have a linear pair, it's going to add up to be 180. So we're going to go ahead and set up our equation. We're going to start with this one here on the left, 2x plus 80, and then I'm going to add it to the other guy, 3x, and that's going to equal, what did we say? 180. Now the ones we did before, the examples we did with the right angles and the complementary right angles, those are always equal to 90. But when it's a straight line or a linear pair, they're always equal to 180. Now all we're going to do is combine like terms. You guys all know how to solve this. 2x plus 3x gives me 5x. Bring down the 80. And now we just subtract 5x equals 100. Divide by 5, and x equals 20. Okay, so make sure you've copied down that first example. Now we're going to do a second example. And again, the directions for this one, I'm going to move it up. Again, the directions for this one will be to solve for x. But our picture this time is going to look a little differently. This time, we're going to have two intersecting lines. So when we have those two intersecting lines like that, what kind of angles do we have? Remember, this looks like a V up here, and it looks like an A down here. So we have vertical angles, VA. And what's true about vertical angles? That they are always congruent to each other. Always congruent to each other. So therefore, whatever the one on one side is, it's going to be equal to the one on the other side. And whatever this guy over here on the left is, that would be equal to the one on the right. Okay, so now I'm going to give you some expressions. This top one is 6x minus 12, and this bottom one is 4x plus 8. And so since we just said they're vertical angles and they're congruent to each other, these have to be equal to each other. So the equation I want to set up is 6x minus 12 is equal to 4x plus 8. Okay, no 180s, no 90s. One has to be equal to the other one. They're exactly the same. They're equal to each other. This is only for vertical angles. Now we solve it. Let's bring all our x's to one side. So I'll move the 4x to the left. I'll have 6 minus 4 is 2x. Bring down the 12 equals 8. Move over the 12. And we can all solve this equation. Divide by 2 and x equals, whoops, 10. Okay? All right, so make sure you have those examples copied. If I went too fast and you need the sub to rewind, feel free to do that. These are also on your iPad if you need to go back and watch them again. You can always go back and watch the videos again. Okay, now you're going to get with partners. The sub's going to tell you what to do, and you're going to work on a couple different things to practice this new information.